I'm Shivani. I'm a senior HR business partner for URW, and I am based at Westfield Shepherd's Bush in London. My role within HR at Westfield involves looking after all of the shopping centres. And so a HR business partner would be looking at ways in which how can you hire people, how can you develop people, how can you get the best out of them and make them work together as a team. I would say the best things about my job are just being around people. I think the amount of people that you meet is just incredible. And just making them all work together in a team and knowing that they're all so different, but actually when they come together for one business goal, they just find a way to work together. I would say that communication is a really important skill. So within my role, I have to speak to so many different people. So I would have my employees, I would have my managers, I would have the directors of the business, I'd have sometimes the owners of the business. Sometimes you have to deliver news that you don't necessarily agree with, or maybe it's a difficult message. And so just knowing how to deliver that in a pleasant way, I think, is probably one of the toughest parts of the role. I loved school. I loved being there. I loved being with my friends. And I look back on it so fondly. I loved anything that was creative and imaginative. Um, so art, English literature. My dream job at the time was actually to be a set designer. I didn't end up doing art at university, at A level. I actually ended up doing psychology, sociology, and English. Now, when I look back on it, it all makes sense. And I think you naturally gravitate towards things that kind of utilize your skill set or things that you're good at. I studied psychology at university eventually as well. And now I use it every day in my role. So my first ever summer job was with a summer camp where people would kind of leave their kids over the summer and we do activities with them. I think at times it was really challenging just because I don't think I'm really that great with children. So it really tested my patience sometimes. That was whilst I was at university, and then I'd also do Christmas holiday jobs as well. My first ever Christmas job was actually in Harrods as a temp. And I think that's where it ignited my passion and love for retail. When I graduated, I started my career as a PA, and that was in a technology firm. I then moved on to Harvey Nichols, and I joined as a HR assistant. And that was to really tap into kind of my passion around fashion and retail. I then progressed on to a fashion designer and joined as a HR assistant, but then progressed up to a senior HR business partner. Following that, I worked across publication and interior design in the HR manager capacity, and I'm now a senior HR business partner at URW. I only really kind of lent into HR and progressed within this field after I graduated. But up until that point, I didn't even know that this was a career option. I think looking back on it now, I can see how specific subjects have led me to this point, and I think I naturally gravitated towards them. And you will naturally do that. You will naturally gravitate towards things that you're either good at or you enjoy. So carry on doing that, and it will all slot into place, I promise you.